Hello. Today what I want to do is I'm going to show you how to put a ferro rod into a handle. Now that was one of the portions of the Apoca box for June this month, and it's a 5/16 rod with a striker. And what I decided on using for a handle is this piece of fat wood. Now this I harvested last summer I believe, but it's rather unique. And when I hold this like that, it gives me a very good grip. So it's going to fit well. 5/16 fits in here perfectly, the rod, and I drilled a lanyard hole. The striker, four-sided piece of high carbon steel, I believe. It's hardened, and it also has a lanyard hole. Mosquitoes are brutal out here, but I'm gonna work through them. They become background after a while. So it's been raining off and on all day, so I have my rain gear on, but I also have the camera covered. It is not waterproof, so when I come out here and do these wet weather type of videos, I have to cover my camera with something to keep it from getting wet. So I'll add a couple pictures and show you what I've done this time. Now this here is the strawberry hoe. Now I put a handle on it. This is a piece of seasoned maple I've had a couple years of let dry out, and nice weight to it. Works rather well. Just gonna show you how quickly you can dig a hole with this, and then we're gonna move on to the ferro rod. Oh, the rock right there. Ha! Check this out. No damage whatsoever. Very nice. That's that rock right there that I just hit. Apparently this is nothing but rock, but as you see, it could tear up some dirt rather quickly, and you could also harvest out some plants and such if you needed to. So, nice little piece of kit for sure. And I like that I could smack that rock and have no damage. Very cool. Also, this here, someone asked if it could take sparks if you striked it with flint. So I took a piece of flint rock, struck it a couple times, and spark flew right off of it. So potentially I could actually start a flint and steel fire with this hoe. So what I'm going to use is the hard resin, and this is like a hot melt glue, but it's like industrial strength. So look like little bunch of chiclets. I just have to heat these up, put them on the rod, heat it up, and shove it in. So what I'm going to do today is I have another one of those little blocks of wax, and I believe this one's fiber, coconut fiber, I think, if I remember correctly. Either way, it's either wood and wax or whatever. Very handy. Light one of them up. It's going to give me a few minutes to work with, put it out, and I could reuse it even. So what I'm going to do first is I have two blocks here. Put one in my pocket, and I'll just use one. And I'm going to just fluff this up. And light that with the ferro rod. There we go. And if I could have that like that, fire wants to climb, it should be good. Now, open this up without spilling it. And I'm going to heat this up and kind of smear it onto the ferro rod. Of course, I'm taking care not to burn my fingers. Okay, I've got a bunch on that. Now all I have to do is heat it up. Then shove it in. And that I can reuse. Now I have the ferro rod in the handle. Now I'm going to actually connect these two together with a lanyard. This here I got from a pocket box. It's a paracord. And I'm going to just take a piece of that and use that for my lanyard. Now myself, I like a fairly long lanyard. I don't like to have one that's really close and doesn't give you the room to strike. I'm sure you know what I mean by that. If you have a short little lanyard, you're going like this here and you're fetching up, I want something I can put a good strike on. So I'm going to put about that much in between. That way there, lots of room. And what I'm going to use to cut this with is my keys. Now, it was either a box or two back. I believe the EDC box, I believe. We got this MAM knife. It has a blade and it has a fork. Very lightweight. And I didn't think that, I don't use folders. I don't really use folders. Now this one here comes with a nice little knife and a fork. First thing I was going to do is break the fork off. What would I ever use that for? This little fork. So I decided, well, it's no more weight, leave it on there. I've been out on a couple campouts now where I've cooked steak directly on the coals. And I've cut up the steak with the knife, and after it was all chunked up, I used the fork. I removed it from my keys, but I used the fork to eat it with. So I've cut many pieces of cordage and such with this blade. It's come in very handy, and I carry it on my keys. So you never know what's going to work for you, at the time. There we go. That's going to provide a nice long lanyard. And now all I have to do is put it on my ferro rod. I just shoved it in one of my pockets and I'm trying to find out which one. Where is it? Oh, there it is, right there. So, put my keys back in my pocket. Now all I'm going to do is just put this through. Now I'm not sure what size hole I used for in here. I just grabbed a bit that I felt would work. So I'm just going to put this through like this, put a couple overhand knots in it, and now I have a striker that's attached. Now let's see how it works. Very nice, very nice. And actually, I'm going to loosen this a little bit and just give it a little bit more. Try that. It's basically a granny knot that I'm using. There we go. Now I'll try it again. Very nice ferro rod and striker. So there it is, and I like how that feels in my hand. There is one other challenge that he used, and he showed people how to use a ferro rod and what works best for him. And what he calls is the machine gun method, or single strike. And I've been using that for years. And to tell you the truth, it's my preferred way as well, because you have more control of your ferro rod, and you also are driving a lot more sparks in one concentrated area. It's my preferred method, and that's what I mostly always use. If you're up here just spraying, then it's pray and spray. You got to get that right spark at the right temperature to hit the right place. If you've got that down, planted, and you're striking, then you're actually driving that heat in. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to fluff this up. Get some fibers there, nice like that. Now you plant your rod like this. One strike is just like that, it's one strike. Put it out, fluff it back up. Now, if you're trying for machine gun, that's this. So there you have it, works very well. And like I said, you can reuse that block. Now I just call it the multi-strike method, but machine gun, I totally understand why he says that. And it was a pretty cool little course. And also, I have to say, the demos that he did are very good information, and it's stuff that I practiced for years, and I agreed with him. So I want to thank you for watching. Take care. All the best.